everybody. We'll make it official.
We're going
We
to be official.
are here. Yeah. Welcome to part three of the Back to School series.
So fun.
Uh, it's been incredible
Yeah.
about,
Yeah.
the universal skills to
Hmm.
um, hosting intensives that are ethical,
Hmm.
responsible, all the things, right? All the
Yeah.
things that we want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited. I think we saved the best for last
Mm.
about this topic. So,
It is a topic that when I'm teaching workshops and whatnot, and I bring this up, it's so I see clinicians go, oh, like with understanding. They're out of maybe a slight confusion and into a deeper understanding, and then they can be more in their presence because we've normalized something. So it's a I really like the topic and I really like to spread the word about it because it's something that also is universal no matter what your modality. And the thing is, when we're doing intensives, we're there with the client for that extended amount of time. We're going to run into these paradoxes, these that are competing for our attention. So I'm really excited to talk about this with you, Stephanie.
so good.
Yay!
Yay. Let me see if people are finding us. If you see us, can you do a like or say hello in the chat so we know that it is in fact working?
That would be lovely.
And please feel free to share your insights, comments, questions. Oh, yay, I see them. We are seen. It exists in the world. So,
I do like the questions. I
oh,
do. In our prior to, there were so many great questions. And then what was great in your community on your page, answers came that were great from the people in your community. So what I appreciate you and what you've created here is the sense of connection and community because it's such a solo entrepreneurship is real.
mm.
And when you're doing intensives, we really want to be supportive to each other in that. So,
Right. Not everyone can relate to the things that happen in the
right.
intensive space.
Oh, golly gee whiz.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Golly.
Barbara, if there's anybody who's not familiar with you, can
Yeah.
you give a little intro
Yeah.
and hello?
Hello. And so that's right. So my name is Barbara Sheehan Seidler. I'm based out of Colorado, and I am an EMDR trainer. Leaving tomorrow to go train in Chicago. I turn around, I come home for 48 hours, and I go back out to Chicago. So I've got a lot of classes coming up, which I'm so grateful for. Consultant and certified in EMDR. I'm also somatic IFS certified, as well as a polyvagal nerd. If anybody is going to the Polyvagal Institute conference in Florida in October, please tag me. Let's connect. I'd love to have a cup of tea with you because I can't wait to go there. And in November, I'll be getting my level 3 training in IFS. So I just love learning, number one. I love sharing what I learn. I think one of the reasons I love learning is so I can digest it and then share it.
Mhm.
And 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 I also, of course, I have a sort of a boyfriend that I've been living with for 40 odd years, and today's his birthday, so we're gonna go
Ah,
out. And I'm a grandmother, and I have three amazing children and two daughters-in-law. So I have a very full, happy, robust life. Very grateful to be here with you.
thank you. Oh my gosh, I love it. If you're going to the polyvagal like event, look
Yeah,
Barbara up because
please let me
that's how we
know.
met
I would
at an
truly
event.
love to connect.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
to geek out on those things. I would love to geek out. That would be fun.
Ah, so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm seeing people say hello. It says here I'm frozen. Oh, I hope I'm not frozen. We've been having
Oh,
internet
oh no, you're not
lovely,
frozen to me.
fun internet things happening at my house. So
Oh
hopefully
my.
that doesn't happen. But if it does, I have the recording.
That's right.
So
Okay. Sorry, Rebecca. I hope that we're both working now for you.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
I hope you're both working. So, so that's me, and today we're going to talk about presence and paradox and how they can bump up into each other. And I'm just so excited to talk about it.
So good. Okay. So let's do a little intro. I'm keeping my eye on the chat if you're wondering.
I am.
I'm
Hi,
looking
Adele.
down.
I am too. So if you see my eyes go down, I'm
Yeah.
looking at the
Yeah.
chat right down here on my phone. So I'm glad you're here, Adele, from Vermont.
Ooh, I love Vermont.
I was going to say this is a time of year to be over there looking at the,
Yes. Let's
yeah.
do a training there. Okay.
Okay, Stephanie.
Yes. Yes, I
Okay.
agree. So let's start first and foremost and just name, because I wasn't familiar with this before we talked, but like when we
Yeah.
did, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, this puts words to so
Mm,
much of
doesn't it?
what I have kind of just intuitively moved through, but it's
Mhm,
really cool to have a language and a
mhm.
structure for. So
Yeah.
when you talk about the paradox or the
Mhm,
paradoxes of presence,
mhm,
what does that mean to you?
mhm.
And how do you see that showing up in
Yeah.
intensives?
So, so, so as a clinician, I'd like to delineate a paradoxical intervention versus a paradox to presence. So, a paradoxical intervention is when one of my clients are showing up and they have a phobia about planes. I might expose them to that phobia to help desensitize it. So, that's great. But when we're trying to be in our presence with our client, the paradox is when I'm having this push pull experience, when I'm maybe thinking about what's for dinner while trying to maintain presence.
Yeah.
So, in the paradox that we're talking about, Stephanie, it is when I'm in this both and experience.
Yeah.
Like an intensive. So, does that make sense?
Yeah,
Um,
I feel like the practical examples really help. I know we're going to
me
show
too.
the slide so you can
Yeah.
visually think about it. But I love
Yeah.
that, when you're almost like at a decision point and you're kind
Hmm.
of deciding, am I going to,
Yeah, I like that.
like the example that I think all of us can relate to, am I going to allow this to be really client led?
Hmm.
And I'm allowing them to take a lot of the ownership,
Hmm.
or am I going to be a guide? Like
Yeah.
that would be a paradox that there's both of those
Yeah.
things, though they're polar opposite, can
Yeah.
result in a very meaningful moment in the intensive.
Hmm.
Sometimes
Hmm.
we lean and let the client
Hmm.
really take the wheel
Hmm.
because trusting their own internal system and wisdom,
Love that.
like
Yeah.
things we don't even know that maybe you really need to come to light
Yeah.
or be witnessed. And then
Yeah.
other times, no, the client truly needs us to
Yeah.
take the steering wheel and direct where things need to go. So I
So
love
true.
that. I think that's such a practical example. And you could see how in any given moment, one could be so helpful
Hmm. Hmm.
or also really not helpful. Maybe not the most productive. Yeah.
And then what do you do? It is the contradiction that we hold, right? Because it's just such a complicated thing to be in this unique position of holding space while being in my own space. So the paradoxes that we're talking about are contradictions that take me out of full-on presence. Like when I'm simply meditating, just when I'm in my meditative space, um, it's the push-pull is gentler and easier. But when I'm in a clinical presence paradox, there's a little bit more that could happen here.
Hmm.
So I wonder as we go through and thank you for inviting me to show some of my slides that I've developed. Maybe some of the people that are watching this are going to be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I didn't know that's what that was called.
Yeah.
So it's when we're in a contradiction and what do we do? And what do we do? So it's right there. Oh, we've got Jane from Wales joining us. Hi, Jane. Hi, Adele. It's great
Welcome.
to have everybody here. So again, to distinguish it, when we're doing a clinical paradoxical intervention, when we're amplifying something, that's great. I use that often, but this is a little different. This is the paradox to presence when I'm in my own push-pull.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Make
Yeah.
sense? Cool. Cool. So One of them, do you want to just jump in right away with
I
examples?
kind of do, yeah. And
Okay.
then people, if you're, we'll share the screen and just notice if you connect or relate to any of them.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, should I do that now?
yeah,
Are
is
we gonna? Okay.
if you're able to. Was there anything else I wanted to ask before that? I don't remember.
Well, I'm sure more conversations will come up, but like
Hmm.
I want to recognize that a therapist client, our relationship is so layered.
Yeah.
I'm the therapist, the professional therapist, holding professional space, while also being an intimate emotional partner, hearing things that were never said before,
Hmm.
while also having my own stuff going on, while also watching for the client's resiliency
Hmm.
and their capacity to stay with me, or do I need to step in, and more and more and more. So it's just a relationship on so many levels. And when we name the paradoxes, for me, I don't know about you, Stephanie, but when I can like, oh, that's what's happening right now. Whew, I'm doing okay still. When I can name it, I can relax with it. So
Yeah.
it keeps me in the window.
Yeah, it gives you permission to move. I'll say
Yeah.
one more before you show the whole list. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
one that I've thought about a lot when it comes to my role as supporting therapists to design their intensives. Is
Tell
this
me more.
paradox of we have a specific goal for the
Yes,
time
yes.
and we are open
Hmm.
to follow
Hmm.
what intuitively, organically comes up. And I've
Yeah.
noticed that in myself. I think maybe it's like me helping my little anxious parts over here that
Hmm.
I say that so often. If you've done trainings with me, there needs to be a really clear, defined goal that everybody is in agreement on, and that is
Hmm.
the focus of the intensive. And I
Hmm.
still think that's pretty important,
I
you
do.
know.
Yeah.
But if we only stay in that, it
Hmm.
doesn't make room for,
There you
some of
go.
the like magic that can unfold.
Right.
That's
And
outside
allow
our
for
awareness.
that organic healing.
Yes.
Right, because
Yes.
we might think we have to go here, but then the way I believe, I'm an EMDR therapist, clinician, and I believe that our healing takes its own pathways in the neuronal network. So if we stay rigid, I love this phrase. Um, I can follow for any EMDR therapist, maybe you've heard it. EMDR has a structure, but it's not rigid.
Hmm.
So intensives, they have a structure, but it's not rigid. We follow the breadcrumbs to the path of healing and wholeness.
Yeah.
And that's where the paradox lies, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
do I stop? Do I go? Do I lean in? Do I lean out? Do I stop? So that's where the paradox is.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah.
Can anyone relate to that feeling? And I definitely can. I think I'm sitting up in my chair because I think when I'm in session intensives and I'm at that moment, it's like lick your finger, feel which way the wind's going. Like, do I feel even physically in my body like the desire to move forward and be a
Yeah.
little more active
Yeah.
or to, take more of a following position?
Hmm. Hmm.
And sometimes you do, and it goes great. And other times you choose and you realize, that probably isn't where we want to be in this moment.
I do that so often. I have a name for it. I
Yeah.
do that so often. I call it a therapy thump. It's just a
Ah,
therapy thump.
yes.
And then I regroup and restart. And
Yes.
it's information that, ooh, was I out of deep attunement that I went there? Was I out of deep attunement? Or did I go too fast, too far that the client wasn't ready to go?
Yes.
It's just clinical information. It happens all the time,
Yep.
all the time. And again, to normalize it, to name it. And I've even said to clients, wow, I really went right and you went left. And my apologies about that. How is that I did that with, in that moment? Just in case there's any rupture that the client might be feeling, I want to have repair as quickly as possible. Oh my gosh, therapy thumbs, it's a thing.
And I think being able to have that dialogue, the meta dialogue,
Yeah.
is really critical
Yeah.
in an intensive because if you're off step and
Yeah.
then you still have 2 more hours to go,
Yeah. Yeah.
listen,
Beautiful.
things
Yeah.
are gonna go a certain way. But if you
Yeah.
can say, oh, look what just happened. That
Yeah.
didn't feel quite right for me. How was it for you? Like when
Right.
we can
Right.
hone that
Right.
language, it
Right.
just allows the intensive to be so much. It meets the needs better. Yeah,
It
right?
meets the needs better. Completely agree. And one of the things about being in an intensive is the authenticity that I need to show up in. Right? Because I am trying to give my clients both the ability to be authentic and the ability to stay attached to me.
Yeah,
And if I'm not deeply authentic, how can they be?
yeah.
And so I've gotten over that, like that nervousness because then I was out of the picture. I was not in a paradox. I was checked out in a way.
Yes,
I just
yes,
want to comment, Amanda, I'm so glad that that resonates with you. And yeah, it's like a speed bump and it cautioned me. I love your analogy. That was great. Thank you, Amanda.
yes,
Um, Discernment is my happy place. Yes.
yes.
It's so important to be comfortable with our humanness, which is many of my clients like, oh no, Barbara, whatever you say. I'm like, oh, let's talk about that because they're putting me someplace that I don't want to be. And
Yes.
so
Ooh,
we need
that's a paradox, right? Like expert versus human, right?
I
Like
don't think that's on the list, Stephanie. We need to add it to the
we're
list.
yes, we're
Yeah.
we're saying them, right? Because have you ever been really human and then it like,
Okay.
oh gosh, it's hard for some clients. They really feel much, much more comfortable to put you in like more to the expert side of things, or vice versa. I've had both.
Both sides. And then
Yeah.
I get clinically curious
Ooh.
about why is it important to put me in the expert role? What need are you getting met there? Who am I, like, what is being recreated? What are we afraid of to own your own expertise? Does
Ooh.
that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my
So we bring
gosh.
it up with, I make notes of it. Again, clinical paradox. I'm taking these internal notes.
Yeah.
And when is the right time to broach the topic or not? All of this discernment. So Neely says the word discernment. I agree. Um,
So,
oh, Amanda is saying it actually happened to me last week, and now this is giving me, oh, good. I'm so glad, Amanda, that it's giving me more language. I'm so glad. Well, wait till you see the slide that we're going to show in a
yeah,
minute.
pull that up.
Awesome. So you're going to make me something so I can do the thing.
Oh, oh, yes, I can do that for sure.
Such technical
Mhm.
language.
Make you the shame
Co-host.
person.
Co-host?
Okay.
I don't know if it'll work.
Yeah, it should.
Okay. Cool, cool. I'm loving the comments. While Stephanie does that, um, it actually happened to me last week, and this now gives me language to move through it. I love what Stephanie said. Oh, look what happened. That didn't feel right. Exactly. That's authentic.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
So, am I co-host?
You should be.
Okay, great. Yeah, I see the share button. Okay. So let me share this document. Okay, let me make a full screen of that. Okay, cool beans. So, yeah, good. Everybody can see this. So, in a recent presentation, we talked about this a bit, and I really enjoyed the work of Sherry Geller. And this is based upon some Sherry's work and some of my own. So, I would love if anybody's here with us, look over this list, and then I have a second page as well, but we'll do page one, page two. And what do you relate to in here?
Yeah.
Especially when you're thinking about the intensives, not just with the client for 60, 50 minutes, but when you're with them for 3 hours, 3 days. Does any of these relate to you?
Yeah.
Anything come up? Do you see anything in here, Stephanie?
Let me make sure I understand them all. So letting go of preconceptions. So coming in kind of like open, not necessarily having a strong judgment one way or the other, but
Hmm.
also offering facilitative responses. That's so interesting, right? Because usually we have a theory about
Yeah,
what might be happening for a client,
yeah,
but also still being open to like the things we don't know or what could be.
absolutely. So we're letting go and not completely and receiving in, letting go of beliefs and
Mm.
theory and it allowing knowledge to inform intuition. So
Yes.
when I was a young clinician 17 years ago, I remember just, quoting books and doing this and doing that, and my hands are gripping like this. And then there was a moment, I remember such brave clients. I have such gratitude for my many of my clients where it wasn't working. It wasn't working. And I was nowhere near attunement or presence. This is before then. And I let go of trying to quote the book and remember what my professor said. I let go and I took a deep belly breath. And I let myself say something. I don't remember the exact words, to be honest, but I said something and the client completely connected with it. So
Oh,
that was me allowing knowledge to inform my intuition. I let go of this and fell into that. But the balance is there. Feeling open and receiving, maintaining consistent focus. This is one where I mindful of.
yeah.
That's the one where I'm mindful of. Oh, because I, when the clients come in for an intensive, they want to work on this thing, and we start going over here, and these things are so interesting and so fun. I'm
Yeah.
like, and we're here for 3 days to do this.
Yeah.
So that's one that I'm really cognizant of. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
definitely. And it's
Yeah.
interesting. Amanda's saying something similar about letting go of plans or direction.
Yeah.
How,
Oh,
like, with
yeah.
intensives, you can feel intimidated that you need to plan so much to, like,
Yeah.
fill the time. I was
Yes.
just in a training with some group practice owners last week, and that was someone who's been a therapist probably longer than I've been, like, alive. And
Uh-huh.
he was saying to me, well, what do I do during the session? How do I plan for it?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, my goodness, you have every every tool that you need. It's
Oh,
it's having like I can give you like you said a loose structure,
yeah.
but trust your instinct that when a person is in front of you, you
Mhm.
know how to help them.
Beautiful. I just did that this morning with a consultee. Yeah. And trust yourself. And
Yes.
I get it. When you're brand new doing an intensive, it's like, but how do I do this for 3 hours, 6 hours? Breathe and go. I completely agree. Trust yourself. You have everything you need.
Yes. And it's
Everything you
funny now that I do, intensives more regularly, I have the
need.
opposite fear that Amanda was saying. Now I'm afraid we're gonna have too much to do. Like still not enough time.
You're
But
so funny. Okay.
right, there's always a new
Can,
thing, fear to be uncovered. But I love what you were saying about like maintaining, yes, there's a focus, there's an
yeah,
agreed upon,
yeah,
theme or
yeah.
whatnot. Um, and so
And to come
using
back
that
to it.
discernment.
And
Yeah.
using that discernment and it's the expansion contraction, and sometimes I've said with clients at one point when I try bringing them back and they're staying over here, I'm like, hey, could we have a quick conversation about our focus? Do we want to refocus? Does
Yes.
this feel more important to you? So I'm also fluid. I like, it's okay. I'm great. I'm loving this, what Adele and Amanda are saying. I love this, being fluid enough to recognize when to lean in. Wonderful. And to be explicit about it, like
Yep.
be clear
Yep.
about it. And
That's
I'm
the
like,
other. Sorry, I want to add one more
tell
thing
me.
before you
Yeah,
shift us. I think that's the other meta dialogue or processing.
yeah.
And it is so, we're gonna have to write this down or something. It could be its own training, but I feel like it's so important to say that I'm noticing that
Mhm,
we're being guided this way. This isn't
mhm.
what we planned for,
Yeah,
what we expected.
yeah,
Where do you want to focus? What feels more important?
yeah.
Because yeah, sometimes we do need to shift, and sometimes we need
Yeah.
to say, actually, no, that's important.
Mhm.
It deserves its own time and place, but
Love
today
that.
we're talking about this.
Love that. In EMDR language, that's called pruning. So that's when when something else comes in and we stay focused on the first one and we prune it. Any gardeners out there would understand the phrase, and because it needs its own time and attention, so we put it there.
Oh.
So this is the comfortability of being a therapist and going with the flow. There is one on this page, though, Stephanie, that I want to bring voice to. This one down here, feeling intimate and joined while retaining a separate sense of self.
Ooh.
So our ethics tell us that, we are a professional relationship. We are not in a romantic or social relationship. Um, when a therapist loses this paradox, right?
Yeah.
And loses their separate sense of self and says, sure, I'll go have a cup of tea with you. Yeah, I'd love to have a date with you over here. When they lose this balance, this is an ethical problem. In the state of Colorado, at least, it would be an ethical problem to have a dual relationship with a client.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to bring this up because I think it's a topic we as clinicians don't talk about, the intimacy, the emotional intimacy, the vulnerability that could, morph into other things. We need to talk about that, especially in an intensive. You've been with them 3 days.
Right.
So I wanted to say how comfortable I am to sit with colleagues about that and
Yeah.
how I can be in the both and. And I encourage every one of my colleagues to be in the both and. Wow, I feel so privileged to hear that. And I'm your therapist. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yes. Thank you for naming that.
I know that's a little bit more of a serious note, but I didn't want to miss the opportunity to remind the people in our field of our professionalism.
Yeah.
And
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 normalize that we can feel, moved
I
to
agree.
side, like
Right.
that those desires or instincts or where you find yourself in some place you didn't expect, like
Yeah,
that's real. So I
that's real.
appreciate that. Yeah.
That's real. And to talk about it with your trusted colleagues or your therapist.
Yeah.
So that's one page of paradox. And then here's another page in case you
Ah,
wanted more. Um, here's the one, people being spontaneous only when it benefits the client, right? So being spontaneous, um, um, like it's like, oh, I just feel like getting up and dancing. Well,
oh.
it's been known to happen in my office, Stephanie. Don't ask, don't ask. But but if it benefits the client, go for it, right? Go
Sure.
for it. Because I
Yeah.
love to just get up and move and get it out. Um, being with the known while staying open to the unknown, that is essential because it's in the unknown, it's in the unconscious where maybe the depth of healing can really happen.
Yes.
So I invite everybody to look at this. Um, and what resonates up here? Thank you, Amanda. Yes, I agree. Amanda's saying that's great. You mentioned that, Barbara. This can happen in a retreat model too.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wherever there is any level of intimacy, it could go into all the levels. So thank you. So does anybody, Stephanie, do you recognize any of these paradoxes?
Oh gosh, yes. Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm seeing what's kind of getting my attention today.
Yes. Today. Tomorrow will be a different one.
Exactly, because they all hit us. I think we will come across all of them at some point.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I,
Um,
I I certainly can check off a lot of these.
I think I had a moment recently with a client where I felt the last one really deeply. I think a lot of us, it's accessing personal
Mm,
emotions and wounds,
yeah.
remaining centered and not shifting the focus. So I think so
Yeah.
many of us are drawn to work with things that we have personal and lived experience with. I know I do.
Yes. Yeah.
And when you've been doing it a long time, you kind of have a certain muscle for that. But every now and then
Mm.
there's just some detail or
Hmm.
something that just, activates your own stuff.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
similar to like leaning in to guide the session or leaning back to follow, I feel like I had a similar sort of moment where I was like, I want to honor what's coming up in me, in
Yeah.
myself, not, we weren't
Yeah.
like discussing it. Um,
Yeah.
but I also want to make sure that I still keep my client at the center of my focus right now.
And there you are, naming it and being aware of it. I hope it lets your system like sway in and sway out internally, because we have
Right.
external and we have internal, and then we have the shared field. And Neely is saying, wondering curiosity and my knowledge self. I'm with you on that one. Um, so over here, holding wondering curiosity while drawing on training and expertise. This one here
Mm-hmm.
is also, um, I find that when I find myself over on this side too much, I might be feeling a little insecure or maybe a little tired or maybe a little bit, oh my gosh, I've never heard this before. What do I do? So I find that in my awareness, I lean here, and in my awareness, I can breathe and then go back to the both and.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
yeah.
Yeah. So I really appreciate you sharing that. I relate to that too. Yeah. So these are just some paradoxes. I think that we could create this list and make it larger and bigger each and every time. And that in our awareness, we're able to be even more present
Mhm.
because we can name it and not be confused. Does that resonate?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, just even like my example, just naming it and saying, oh, there was a minute where I needed to shift my focus to my parts,
Yes.
give them a
Yes.
little acknowledgement and a little bit of love. And
Yes.
then I say, okay, whew, belly
And
breath,
I'm back.
and I'm
Yeah.
shifting back to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, very much so. And then in this sweet little slide, the
Oh,
just right principle. The just right principle is the knowing when I'm underdoing or overdoing and what's just right. What's the balance between the two? What's that? So, the just right principle, because neither is wrong.
yeah.
I'm a human being having a human experience. I just happen to be a therapist. So I'm not vilifying. There's nothing wrong with either. It's just the balance between. So I'm there as a therapist and not in my own story. Yeah.
Oh, I love this.
Well, I didn't design it. The researcher over here did, when I came across it, I'm going to stop sharing right now. When I came across it, it was like, yeah, that's what we need. We need to be just right,
Yeah.
just right, just there. So, the paradoxes, they're there in every setting, and they're also there in the intensive more intensely.
hmm hmm
Yeah,
Right. They call for our attention and acknowledgement a little bit more than
they
if,
do.
if you were sort of in a standard setting.
They do. And there's nothing really, well, I guess what we could talk about is, well, what do you do if you find yourself in a paradox?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything that you'd have as a go-to when you find yourself in heavily on one versus the other side? Again, they're both okay, but where's the balance? So when you
Right.
find yourself stuck somewhere, is there anything you do?
Well, I literally didn't know this till we started talking, but
What's
I
that?
do think I sit up really straight, and maybe that's just me trying to notice.
Uh-huh.
I pay attention to my body.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And usually I'll pause and I might
Yeah.
even say to the client out loud, like, let's give me just a moment. Let's just pause here. And let's notice. And then I'll kind of verbalize, oh, should we go this way? Should we go that way? How does
Yeah.
it feel for you if I
Yeah.
guide? How does it feel for you if I,
Yeah.
sometimes people just go and that's what they need. But sometimes it's
Yeah.
not that clear.
Indeed, and what I'm hearing as I hear you say that, how I'm interpreting it is that you're very authentic, you're very in the moment, you're very transparent,
Mhm.
right? While being very connected and attuned to the clinical needs and the happenings right there. Did I assess? Is
Yeah.
that right? Did
Yeah,
that feel
yeah.
right?
And
Yeah.
I think my body tells me. I think it gives me a little bit of insight.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like that intuitive subconscious that we're not always aware.
Yeah.
But if I
Yeah.
feel the pull in, I might
Mhm.
be a little more active, or
Yeah.
I might
Yeah.
say, you know what? Just it's
Mhm.
okay. It's okay to just pause and let it evolve the way that it needs to go.
And let it evolve the way it needs to go, right? Because the client is there, the client's mind body is the expert in their healing path.
Yes.
I just happen to be along for the space holding and observations with maybe a little skill, but mostly it's the clients if we follow that.
Yeah.
So that idea when I find myself in a paradox, interestingly, when I find myself leaning in to a client like that, I'm like, ooh, and I'm not mirroring. So if the client's leaning in, I might mirror. That's one thing. But if I'm leaning in and the client is, I'm like, oh, why are you leaning in, Barbara? Are
Um,
you trying to, you know, support the client more than they need? So I get curious about my body language as well.
yeah.
And for me, also, if I find myself really fidgety, because I can be really serene
Hmm.
and really there. And then the other one I'm thinking about yesterday, long, long day yesterday, and how I found myself waiting for the client to finish talking so I could answer. So I was
Mm-hmm.
definitely in a part
Yeah.
and not in my presence. I was in part versus presence. And so what do I do when I reckon? So it's important to recognize when we're in a paradox out of balance. And then what do we do? And for me, similar to you, I'll just breathe. I'll ground my heels. I'll do some aromatherapy. The client doesn't notice. And I'll even name it. I'll even be really transparent. Wow, I'm so sorry. I got distracted for a minute. I am so sorry. And I don't say it that blatantly. How do I really say it? I think what I more so say is, I need to take a breath and reset right now.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
And I just own, I don't make it about them. I make it about me. I
Yeah.
need to take a breath and reset right now. And I just close my eyes and I breathe. It takes maybe 5 seconds. And I come back in and I re-engage.
Yeah.
Another thing I notice, if the pace of my voice is really fast or the tone of my voice is really high, then I also recognize that I'm not in the balance. Does that make
Ooh,
sense?
yes, yes. And I
Mhm.
want to ask people too if there's signals that
Yeah, I
they
love
know
that.
about themselves, put it in the chat because it's really helpful to hear. Because someone
Yeah.
might feel the same as you,
Yeah.
and it can be really helpful.
It can be, and there are some great things happening in chat down here, Stephanie.
Yes.
Um let's see. Yes, I agree, Neely. The good enough parent. I agree. I want to be the good enough therapist. Yeah. This is the Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino. Well,
I love
okay,
that.
I'll meet you there, whatever.
So
No worries.
good.
Um, when I need to take a minute to notice, I simply ask, tell me what you're thinking, and then give me a moment to be attuned. Beautiful, and take my temperature. Beautiful.
Oh, I
I
love
invite
that.
them to tell me if it feels right. Do you see this transparency? Right? So
Yes.
many times my clients have attachment woundings, and so they had a sacrifice authenticity, they had to sacrifice attachment, they had to sacrifice. And in the office, what we're inviting them, our conversation and what's happening in the chat is you get to be completely authentic here and safe here. You get to be authentic and attached. You're safe here. And we're helping repair some of those wounds
Hmm.
just by being authentic and safe. Isn't that wonderful? I
Beautiful.
know. It's
I love
wonderful.
that. I want to
Yeah.
go through the chat and make a little like
Beautiful.
table bank of statements because they're so good.
I was
So
thinking
good.
about that too, and for our last conversation too.
I know.
Um,
Ah,
it was good. Where are we? I want to check how's our time because there's one other big thing to talk about is
Yeah.
when it happens in an intensive setting.
Yeah.
Do you do you feel okay to switch there?
Sure.
We
That's
good?
great. Let's do it.
So, oh, I like that, Zahira, and I hope I said your name right. Sometimes I notice that when providing psychoeducation, I get too excited and okay, I'm gonna high five you right there.
Definitely. Yeah.
High five.
In there.
High five,
And the
especially
person's just like, you know,
what?
you
Or
went past their
conversely,
tolerance.
they have a little bit of knowledge too. We both get really excited and nerd out. It's like, oh, wait, we're here to do therapy. Wait. So high five on that one, double time. That was awesome. Um, so the reason I think it's important to talk about this with an intensive is because the emotions might get really big, right? We've talked about it in our other two back to school specials. I love it. And to lean into or support that the client may need us to help them contain or just give them the space.
hmm
And so what do we do? What do we do? It's very often going to happen that the tension the client has been holding has finally gotten to actualize. And are they okay, or do we need to step in? Does
Yeah.
that make sense? So, yeah.
Definitely. And I
And
have been in those moments. I know we're short on time,
oh,
but I
good.
think it's so important to name, just like from a human perspective. I've been in those moments with clients where
Yeah.
something really profound is
Yeah.
happening. They're experiencing a really intense emotion.
Yeah.
And to check in, how's that making me feel? Like, is that
Yeah.
activating some of my fears?
Yeah.
Um, and sometimes I do just legitimately say, hey, I just want to check in with you.
Mhm.
Does it feel like this is helpful? Do you feel like you're having a release or moving something forward? Or are
Mhm.
you feeling overwhelmed
Mhm.
um, and stuck? You know,
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
you can tell someone's having a really cathartic moment.
Yeah.
Um, but sometimes it's not that clear. And so just
Mhm.
asking, I've never had anyone be offended or feel
Mhm.
interrupted.
Me too.
They really just appreciate,
Mhm.
that I've given them space to be where in whatever they need, you know?
And-
Or
But
they're
they
like, "Yes, please interrupt me and help me feel more calm."
and that is so true. But again, there we are being transparent, being compassionate, being attuned, and being really permissible. Like, what do you need? I'm here for you. I'm here for you. And so because it could be such a finally I get to do this and be witnessed. Healing, wounding happens in relationship, healing happens in relationship. So they finally get to do it. um, Another thing with intensives is the counter transference could get bigger.
Mhm.
And to be aware of that we are a professional person and not friendship, and to stay in that role of being that therapist to them, and that some of their disclosures, um, then how much do we reveal, right?
Mhm.
Oh, me too. My dog just died. Oh my gosh, mine did too. Let me tell you all about it.
Mhm.
No,
Mhm.
no. But because of the intensive environment, we as the professional don't want to get lost in who we are in that moment. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go down here and check chat.
Yeah.
Um, See if we missed something. Nice. Really, this is great. Um, Amanda asked, can you speak more on bringing your personal self to session while releasing personal concerns? Is it like the dancing example? That's a great question. So, can you speak more on bringing your personal self to session while releasing personal concerns? One of the things, yeah. So, how I would answer that is I ask myself internally, why am I doing this? Why am I talking about my dog dying? Why am I doing this? And if my why is for the benefit of the client, for maybe building rapport, for maybe for the client to feel like they're seen and heard, oh my gosh, that happened, something like that happened to me too. And then I always turn around, what's that like? That you're not alone. I've been through something similar, not
Mhm.
exact. So if it's for the client benefit, I'll move forward. But if it's not for the client benefit, I hold it and I bring it to my therapist or I go to my consultation groups and things like that. That was
Mhm.
a really good example. And sometimes though, I do follow my intuition. And if I, that dancing example, this is a true story. Client was having breakthroughs and breakthroughs, and I just was so happy. And I said, "Oh my gosh, I just feel like dancing right now." I think I did that. Like I just feel like dancing right now. And she said, "Can we?" I said, "Oh, we can dance." So I
Aw.
followed it felt like I followed something that was not asking the client, but rather just sharing my excitement. And then we both danced it out and it was good.
Oh, that's
It
so
was really good. It was
great.
really, really good. So there are two ways that I can do that. Does that resonate with you?
Definitely.
And
Yeah.
Amanda, I hope that answered your question well.
So great.
Okay. Mm. And oh, thanks, Amanda. And I see countertransference is my most uncomfortable place.
Mm.
Yeah. A visceral reaction. Yeah, I got you. I feel you. I feel you. I feel it's like, I don't want to look at that anymore. I thought I cleaned that up last year, but yeah.
Right.
There's always more. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Me
So
too.
good.
This has been so good, Stephanie. Thank you for inviting me to talk about this.
Of course. Of
Yeah.
course. I know I'm like I want to get to, if there are any other questions coming up or if your
Mhm.
people are catching the replay, feel free to put questions and tag Barbara
Mhm.
or me.
Mhm.
Um, I I want to talk about this experience that we are creating together.
All right.
I know. Before that, are there any final thoughts about paradoxes, or does that feel complete? Look at me using my intensive skills. That's often what I'll say to
Fab,
clients
you
in an
fab, you
intensive. Yeah.
fabulous. I would say to a new clinician, and if you find yourself in a paradox, just give yourself some self-compassion, give yourself some grace, give yourself even awareness that you're aware of. Like that's great to be aware of, and now you can do it. Just give yourself space. Stephanie and I am 17 plus years in the field. I know you're in the field long time,
Mhm.
and it's oh like it happens. Breathe, give yourself grace, go learn, go process it with safe people, and then continue. That's the final thing I would say is love, love, love.
So good. So
Yeah.
good.
Thank
I love it. Love you
you.
all. It's like, yes, how you're in the chat, like enjoying this. That is also how I felt when Barbara and I first talked about these topics.
Me too.
So, what I just want to share about is the reason why we decided to do this back to school series. And it really is talk about like planning and also heart and intuition.
Mhm.
We just really felt like there was something that we wanted to create and share together as
Mhm.
therapists who offer intensives, who are trainers, who navigate the waters of trying to balance like the structure and the business
Mhm.
side of intensives, but also the intuitive, the clinical, the presence and attunement. And
Mhm.
so, uh, Barbara and I are going to be hosting a retreat. And
Round of applause.
we cannot
I'm so
wait.
excited.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. And I think there's some, like, this probably sounds a little loose, but I feel like it fits for this topic. Like, we have some plans and some intentions of what we want to share. A
Mhm.
lot of it is taking what we've discussed in this series
Mhm.
and deepening it and
Mhm.
experiencing it and applying
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
Um, but we're also open to what
Mhm.
it needs to be. So,
I love that.
I can I share really quick
Come
the
on.
the screen page? Okay. It is happening in March in Huntington Beach, California, which
We
just
don't think,
happens to be almost my hometown.
did you think you were sharing, Stephanie?
I'm putting it
Okay.
right
My
here.
Facebook post today, maybe. I am a paradox daily, and that's just right for me.
Oh,
I may take that, Neely.
I love
Oh,
that.
Stephanie, that's so pretty.
I am just so thrilled. So Barbara and I have been co-creating and dreaming together,
Yeah.
and what we are excited to share and invite
Mhm,
folks into is
mhm.
this presence and possibility retreat.
Yeah.
So, we are going to be surfing the paradoxes of what it's
Mhm,
like to design a business where
mhm,
you or a practice where you
mhm,
offer intensives, but also how to share your presence so that the work
mhm,
is really, really sacred
mhm,
and aligned to who you are and
mhm.
invite clients into these really lovely transformative experiences. So
Yeah.
I'll put this in the chat, but you are invited to check it out.
Yeah.
And just know that, yeah, the things that we've shared, we want to go deeper, and we are also, yes, we are guides, but we're also on the journey to
Mhm,
understanding what it's like
mhm.
to, yeah, to be attuned
Yeah.
in intensive work. And let
Right.
me pause and Barbara, what do you want to add on here?
Oh, golly gee. Um, just that I love what we get to do. I feel like I've answered a calling. I've often said that I've had a mother's heart. You know,
Oh,
it took me a long time to have our babies. So I've always said I have a mother's heart, but my spirit is that of like a healer. Like, you know, like let's heal, let's get whole again. So I'm just so honored and privileged to journey and to help other healers feel well and feel good so that they can then in turn do phenomenal, profound work. It's just such an honor and a privilege. And I loved what you said, Stephanie, that if there's something, anybody that's watching this, and there's something like I really want to drill into and I really want to really not just know, but embody XYZ, let Stephanie and I know. Like I am here to meet your needs. So we have ideas, but we're very open to hear what you feel is important too. So and the beach. I can't wait. I'm in
yes,
Colorado. So the beach is like whoa, for me.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I love it. I love it. I'll show
Me
you the
too.
picture. That's where it's gonna be.
Yeah. Okay, I'm looking in because every time I look at this, I
I
makes me so
know.
happy.
I want to
We
go
need
to
to dance,
there.
Stephanie. Stephanie, we need to dance.
We do. And remember we planned we're having a welcome bonfire, so we will be on that beach in that fire. And
There might be a little
Barbara's
movement
speaking
going on.
on the internal landscape
Yeah.
of the intensive work, how it
Mhm.
impacts us internally.
Mhm.
She's that the presence. I was gonna say guru. That's not even my favorite word. You embody presence so well, it's like contagious. And I'm going to be focusing on the external landscape,
Yeah. Yeah.
whether that be, designing your intensives, marketing them, whatever
Yeah.
external place you are in your journey. It's going to be a
Mhm.
really intimate, small group of folks.
It is.
And
What I love about that is because in the small, intimate group, we can get really vulnerable and at that edge of safety and curiosity. So I'm really excited that we intentionally keep it small. And
yeah,
I just want to say, and Stephanie, it's the both and. You and I are the living paradoxes. Like, how do I do this? And how am I this? Like, you
yeah.
know, we are the both and embodied. And you hold presence so mighty and so well, Stephanie. Never, ever, ever, ever doubt that. You just happen like to really know how to make it happen. I'm just really intuitive about it. I don't know. I can't break it down like you do. You do an amazing job of teaching it. I, I mean, I'm in awe of you.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
mutual. It's mutual. Ah, I just love it.
Me
I
too.
so we just want to invite
Yeah.
people, if you're interested, there's this little page which we can put in the chat.
Yeah.
And it's no obligation. You don't have to pay any money. You'll just get information
Hmm.
when the details finally come out. And then
Hmm.
there's a little
About
bit
us.
about us here, who we are,
Yeah.
why you would might want to spend time with us. But isn't that gorgeous?
I can't wait.
Let's go there.
Ah,
Okay.
that's going to be amazing. And it's in March. So if you're in a cold climate, imagine being there in
Oh
March.
gosh.
Oh,
All the
I'm
way. We will be there.
I'm I'm in. I'm good.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Well, if any other questions come up,
Let me see. I don't see any on my end.
okay.
But if they come up, I go back and I check the chat later and I'll answer them in there. Or you can email Stephanie or I, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Amazing. Thank you,
Amazing.
Barbara. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah, the paradoxes, right, of the work we do and the multi-layer of how we show up in this space. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Thanks, Stephanie.
All right. All right, my friends. I hope that was, I don't know, you got all the same good vibes and energy that we're feeling over here. And we just wish you so much light and love as you continue through your day. Thank you for
Thank you
the
so
work you
much.
do.
Thanks. Thank you for everything.